What's good, African family? Welcome back to the African Wahala. So, we're going to talk a little bit about the Nigerian military and what they have been up to. A lot of people have lost respect for the army, not because it's entirely made up of bad people or irresponsible people, but yes, for the most part, it is irresponsible. And then once we start seeing headlines like this, Boko Haram takes over Nigerian army base in Borno, many soldiers dead or wounded. It's only natural for you, okay, to feel bad for them. But at the same time, you think about it that this is 2025. This is happening once again. It happens every single year. It has been this way since Boko Haram started in 2009. I'll show you a quick video of what the attack was. So that is a video of the Boko Haram members once again in March 2025 attacking Nigerian army base in Borno. And then, it's unfortunate. You look at the environment, it doesn't even look like a Nigerian army base. The Nigerian government should be absolutely embarrassed by the fact that their army base looks like this. This just looks like a village, no protection, extremely vulnerable. But I digress. The bottom line is that Boko Haram, once again, very confidently attacks a Nigerian army base, posts the video online for the whole world to see. They are not going to be arrested. Nothing is going to happen. And you have a bunch of military guys that have lost their lives, unfortunately, over the years, in the last 15 years, since 2009, when Boko Haram came to prominence. And most of these guys don't get any compensation. They end up being forced to survive for themselves. So, what do they end up doing? They end up in lots of illegal activities. You find military guys working for private individuals like celebrities, and then the celebrities often violate them, but that is their best chance in having a decent life, right? I'll show you a quick video of one of the celebrities that the Nigerian military guys work with in order to pay their bills for their families. So this is Davido. You all probably know Davido, popular music superstar. He's sitting down in one of his expensive, vehicles, luxurious lifestyle. On the background, you can see Nigerian soldiers, police acting as his personal security guard. He's smoking ganja, blowing the ganja smoke on them, you because he's a celebrity. Look at the army guys or military, whatever they are, DSS, running because they are slaves to the celebrities. The same way you find them working with, big pastors, big politicians. This is the way for the Nigerian military guys to survive. The government will not give them enough funding to survive. The military guys are also victims of Nigeria, just like an average Nigerian is a victim of Nigeria. All right? You can imagine what would happen if a regular civilian was blowing ganja smoke at the face of a military guy. I can only imagine how much brutality you will face for blowing ganja smoke at the face of a Nigerian military guy. So, why have people lost so much respect and credibility for the Nigerian military guy? Why did the Nigerian military lose its credibility? I've shown you one of the reasons. They worship celebrities. I'm talking about the military. They worship big pastors, politicians, VIPs. They act as private security for VIPs. Meanwhile, Boko Haram is running them over in their bases, in their military camps. And then you come across News headlines like this: Nigerian military brutalizes electricity firm staff in setback for $20 billion investment drive, whatever that means. I'll give you more context to what exactly this story is about. According to the sources, the Nigerian military did not pay their electricity tariffs, their bills, okay, in a particular location in Lagos. And, it's a lawless society. I'm just being honest with you. So they do anything they want to do. The military guys decided to go invade the electricity office because they cut off their power supply, right? While invading the office, they brutalized anyone that they found. Keep in mind, I just showed you a video earlier where their military base in Borno was attacked by Boko Haram. But instead of the military to find a solution to that problem, yes, we understand the solution has to come from the top, from the politicians, right? But if the military has realized that the politicians are never going to solve this problem because they benefit from the problem of Boko Haram and all these other terrorist organizations, then the military should have found a solution. But instead of finding a solution, they end up fighting for their own survival, just like everybody else. They find jobs with celebrities, pastors, the same politicians that ruined everybody's lives. They get paid big money from being personal security guards to those VIPs. Meanwhile, they go and violate citizens that are employees of private companies because that company cut off their electricity supply. Check this out. This is the Nigerian military, walking like solid, like a unit. Oh, they are so tough. They are so tough when it comes to civilians. They go to their office, look at them running with machine guns, high morale, kicking the doors in, looking for any innocent person to brutalize because this organization, electricity tariff organization in Ikeja, cut off the power supply to one of the barracks or military bases in Lagos. And they got so upset. The reason those guys cut off the electricity supply is because the military refused to pay for their bills. They did not pay their bills, so their light was cut off. Because it's a lawless society, the military goes and attacks staff members of the company responsible for electricity supply. And this was caught on CCTV. So, this is what the average Nigerian goes through in the hands of the military. They don't have the balls to defend the country, they don't have the balls to fight against terrorists. Unfortunately, it's not entirely their fault because the government refuses to equip them. But instead of them maybe doing what the guys in Burkina Faso did, the guys in Mali and Niger Republic, instead of going that route, they would rather brutalize innocent citizens in their jobs, okay? An average citizen of Nigeria that is also a victim of Nigeria, by the way. They would rather go brutalize those people. And I don't want to show you videos of the actual brutalization, but you can find those videos online. They would rather brutalize those people because they are easy picks. We, the citizens, are easy targets. We are the ones that can be easily brutalized, no problem, right? Meanwhile, the politicians that made them useless, the politicians that made them weak, they would worship those politicians, lobby to get jobs, to become houseboys and private personal bodyguards to the same politicians and their children that put us in this mess.
we got here this morning at about a few minutes to 8, while we're planning to go for another engagement where some of our media partners are even going with us for a commissioning somewhere. And the next thing, truckload of Sametna Air Force Base officials invaded these premises, beating, harassing, destroying. You will see the wanton destruction of what has happened in there. Harassment of our staff. You can individually, independently ask them their ordeal. I personally have gotten a fracture in trying to run for safety. And so that is what happened this morning. And one of the things they did when they got in was to target everybody's phones and blinded and destroyed all our cameras. And also went for our IT infrastructure so that we cannot reach out to the rest of the world. So we are using this opportunity to call on the rest of the world that the Nigerian Air Force, Sam Etnam Base, have done what is unbecoming of that institution. And we seek redress. Personally, we seek redress as individuals, and as an organization, we seek redress because this is just fair and unjust. We know the usual language.
So that is the language of the Nigerian military, to use force and brutality against the citizens. I'm just trying to explain to you why they lost their credibility for the most part. Assuming these guys had put themselves together, the first video that I shared with you, and I'm going to share that again, Boko Haram attacking a military base in Borno. Okay, assuming while this attack was going on, the military had maybe deployed the same air force, because this was a real life situation. It happened today. See, Boko Haram running over another Nigerian army base in Borno. If the army, the military was well coordinated, maybe they should have deployed the air force to help them, some aerial attack and clear off this mess. But these guys, the Boko Haram, once again took over a military base, recorded the brutality on camera, posted it on social media, because they are obviously emboldened. Why wouldn't they be emboldened? It has been going on this way since 2009, where every single year the military guys get overrun by different terror groups and nothing is done about it. The only thing that has happened between 2009 and now in 2025 is that all the former military bosses, the heads of the army, navy, they all became billionaires. They all became extremely wealthy. The terrorism continued and increased. Okay. The victims of the terrorism, the numbers increased. The military became poorer. The lower ranking military officers, they all became poorer. They all became, there was an incentive for them to seek for jobs as private security guards of the same politicians that destroyed the country and celebrities. I showed you a video earlier. Let me play that video quickly. Video of celebrities. How do the Nigerian military guys get paid good money? When they get jobs with celebrities as private security guards, or when they get jobs with big mega pastors, they get jobs with, like, so-called VIPs. These VIPs are the ones that pay them the most. So they lobby to get those jobs, and they also get disrespected heavily once they are in these jobs. Look, this is a case where the military guys are saluting Davido, one of the Nigerian music superstars. Meanwhile, Davido is chilling in his expensive vehicle, having military guys running behind him. Military guys that are supposed to be fighting against Boko Haram, they are running behind a celebrity, while the celebrity is smoking ganja, blowing the smoke in their faces. Imagine a regular civilian walks by the face of a police, of a military. He might even get brutalized and assaulted. But here, a VIP, you know, enjoying his life, smokes ganja, blows the smoke on the face of the military. But let me know what you think. My conclusion is the reason why the people are sick and tired of the military, have lost all confidence in them, is that the Boko Haram insurgency that began in 2009 should have been curbed by now, should have been curbed 10 years ago. But instead of that happening, the military guys, the bosses, they all became wealthier. The Boko Haram members became more emboldened, their numbers increased, and the number of terror groups diversified. Now we have multiple terror groups running rampage around the country, shooting videos, posting it on social media. No problem. They know nothing is going to happen. They are so confident. They post videos of themselves collecting ransom from their victims, posted on TikTok for the entire world to see. They post videos of themselves just a couple of days ago executing Nigerian military guys, posted on social media, no problem. Meanwhile, the so-called Nigerians, they go complaining about the government. They get arrested immediately, kidnapped from their residences for criticizing the government for its incompetency. But let me know what you think. This is the African Wahala. We talk about African issues. Yes, most of my content is skewed towards Nigerian issues because that's where I'm from, but it's still the African Wahala, and we talk about other African regions and things that are going on, why we remain at the bottom of the food chain. Okay, that's what we talk about here. And click on the like button if you like the content and subscribe to the channel. Thank you for watching. Peace.